Hey everyone, this week's podcast sponsored by Racing in the Dirt. Located in Cleveland, Wisconsin, Racing in the Dirt is ready to put their over 30 years worth of off-road experience to work for you. From turnkey builds to rolling chassis to an awesome selection of parts, the Racing in the Dirt staff has got you covered. Brake kits, aluminum hub kits, enclosed chain drives and kits, drive shaft loops, and even DIY wheelie bar kits, all available. So let Scott, Shane, and the crew at Racing in the Dirt get you the competitive edge you need. Give them a call at area code 920-693-2000. That's area code 920-693-2000. Or find them on Facebook or even racinginthedirt.com. That's racinginthedirt.com and the UPS Daily.
Hey folks, this is an ad read for Silverback Offroad and the rentals. Silver Lake's most convenient rental company. Rentals are available from April 1st to October 31st. At Silverback Offroad, you'll find experts that can help you find the latest products and performance upgrades to help you transform your Jeep, truck, or side-by-side into your ideal reflection. Their off-road rental shop is conveniently located in Mears, Michigan at 1920 North 24th Avenue, directly across the street from the 2,000-acre Silver Lake Sand Dunes, which is Michigan's #1 off-road destination. Also, Silverback Offroad Rentals, they offer ATV rentals, side-by-side rentals, Jeep rentals, RV rentals, and more. This is the only drivable sand dune east of the Mississippi River. For more information, you can visit their website at silverbackoffroad.com, or you can give them a call at 231-923-2455, extension 1. Again, that's 231-923-2455, extension 1. And once again, you can find them at their website, silverbackoffroad.com, and also find them on social media at Silverback Offroad. Silverback's RV rentals can be found at silverbackrvrental.com. You can also contact them at sales@silverbackrvrental.com. You can also call them for the RV rentals at 616-730-8787. Again, that's 616-730-8787. silverbackrvrental.com.
All right, welcome back, you guys. I'm Caleb Mings. I'm joining me for a little discussion on the Pacific Northwest Shootout. Brad Christophersen. Brad, this is in your backyard, the Pacific Northwest Shootout. This has been the big annual bike race there. We talked a little bit about it last episode. First off, they got their schedule officially posted for the 2024 race. Anything on there that you kind of see that you really wanted to highlight just to kick this off?
I'm kind of excited to see some of the Corvo Raptors run, actually. Troy and Steve both are going way quicker. Obviously, Troy has put nitrous on one of his bikes, on Jackie's personal bike. It's been running hard, ran a dome, ran a low 50, if not a 50 flat, somewhere right there. And I think he's really close to that here at Albany, too, already. That was going to be a good one. And then Steve Summerlin's no bar Raptor is a rocket ship. And I think he currently holds the no bar 4-stroke record. I know he's been clipping right at that low 70s. It just means it's going to go faster at some point. Conditions all come together. It will for sure.
For sure. And we'll probably see them. I know they've got the no bar class, so we'll definitely see Steve in there. The 771 big block, that's going to be really contentious. I know we were mentioning that there's still a pretty good little group of, Raptors and 4-stroke, single-cylinder 4-strokes up there in the Oregon, kind of Washington area. So they definitely come out in, pretty good showing at the Pacific Northwest Shootout. One thing that I believe we forgot to talk about is on Thursday, they're going to have a quick 8. And basically, they're going to kind of mix that in. They run all of their index classes along with some gambler and open bracket stuff on Thursday. But they're going to mix in a quick 8 in there. So that's going to be quickest 8 bikes, the turn and slips. I believe they run that class as a heads-up class too, right?
Yes, it is.
So some cool stuff there for Thursday. Also, officially, the mini bike race is going to happen. They don't know when in the schedule. They're going to kind of figure out what day they've got, a little bit more wiggle room, but I'm really stoked for that. First time out there for the Pacific Northwest Shootout. You guys ended up doing a mini bike race at the end of one of the days. Hands down, everybody had just an absolute blast with it.
Yeah, the little pit bikes are quite the phenomenon nowadays. As a matter of fact, I got sucked into it here a year ago too. Right before we went down to last fall to PSDA's race in Louisiana, I didn't take a bike. And I was like, I need something to ride on around down in Louisiana. So I bought this little 212 pit bike, took it down there and rode it all around for a week and brought it home and ended up somehow with a second one, traded some stuff. I just actually ended up with the one Eric Wells built. It's a little
Oh,
212
nice.
billet top end something or other. I haven't even dug into it to be quite honest, but I might have to bring those out too. There's a whole
Yeah.
bunch of them around here.
Oh, for sure. Between the mini bikes, the ATC 70s, like I think it's gonna be a really good time out there. Um, again, we don't know which day they're gonna put in there. That's just gonna be kind of, when they got time. But I think that's gonna be pretty cool. Friday, moving on, they got some pro bracket classes. The four-stroke heads up, and we were talking about a lot of the Raptors showing out there. Weight class for the Banshees as well on Friday, so that's going to be pretty cool. And they're doing the first bout of their youth classes as well.
Yeah, those are always great classes as well. We usually have pretty good turnout. We tend to get a lot more kids there with all the racers and whatnot. That's always a good one.
Yeah,
Um,
and this being one of the big races, you get a lot of out of towners and stuff. I know that there's a decent group that's coming up from California, so they're going to be bringing out some kiddos too.
I'll tell you what, who's the hot team in the kids classes is the Pena crew.
Oh, that's for sure.
The absolute rippers. They compete. I know the older boys running a 4 mil Cub, and I think he's running 80s, 70s, somewhere in there.
Mhm.
Pretty damn fast.
Yes,
And they've
sir.
got the younger ones all have full on dragsters, beautiful bikes too. They all run hard. Whole family event for them. It's quite the teamwork. It's fun to see.
Yeah, and it's cool because they're kind of doing it right. They're building the kids up slowly but surely, putting them on quicker and quicker bikes as they're able to show, you know, control over what they're currently on. And they start from a little 90cc pit bike and put it onto drag frame one and slowly
Yeah.
go into stock cylinder Banshee and then the 4 mil. And so they just kind of keep graduating and pushing the grandkids through that little curve. And it's definitely cool to see them grow up and mature and become pretty awesome little racers there.
Yeah, it sure is. And you're right. They really do it right. I see them just through Facebook, but they're out testing bikes and, making tweaks and changes, running in the sand wash or out in the desert somewhere where they hit up there. But they do that quite a bit. And, I feel like I see them once or twice a month out there doing that between racing too. So they're getting lots of seat time and they're obviously well under control of the situation. It's
Oh yeah.
pretty.
And then, it's cool to see them be able to go and travel and support some of these bigger races and stuff too. So they're also going to do another youth class on Saturday as well. So little Aubrey and stuff there, she's going to be able to get to rip both days. The no bar class again on Saturday. So we're going to see Oregon you guys have some crazy, like what we'll call the more like the traditional hill shooter no bar bikes, not the super track style ones. And I think that's super cool. Full suspension, just like true no bar suspended bikes out there, and some of them running
Yeah.
350s. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, back just what was it, a month ago, 5 weeks ago at Rapid Rally, we had a big turnout for the no bar class there as well. And of course, out in the sand, it was primarily no bar stuff, but they're fast as shit.
Mhm.
There's Doug Gunderson and Brian Kane's coming up. He's a contender. You got, of course, Arlo with his bike. Sucker's been low 330s, if not better. I don't remember exactly what his quickest ET is, but
And now Tevin's got his old bike too, the Gulf oil bike now. So he's
yeah,
been ripping
sure.
that and stuff, and it's cool. And you know, a lot of those bikes are probably also going to run some of the natural aspirated two-stroke heads-up classes on Saturday as well. So they've got
Yeah.
everything from 425, 525, 650, 775, and even bigger than 775. So a lot of big bikes out there too. You know, we definitely see, you know, a good group of, you know, 900cc bikes that typically run that class.
Yeah, we sure do.
So, and then rounding out Saturday, looks like on the schedule they've got more heads-up classes. So they've got a 4-cylinder open, single-cylinder open, which I'm sure we're going to see more of those Raptors running that. The naturally aspirated triple, so no spray on any of those triples, all naturally aspirated.
Yep.
And then an unlimited open. So that is a run which brung. If you want to run nitrous, any power adders, go for it. So a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, it should be a good time this week. Weather-wise has been real nice. It's right at 80 today, I think. Thursday, Friday, we're somewhere right around there too. I think even Thursday was down in the 70s for the high. So it's actually giving us a break from the heat too. You know, last year it was crazy hot.
Yeah, and last year it was actually during its normal time earlier in July when they typically have it. So I know that was one big concern with it getting pushed back to August, that, you know, maybe it was going to be even hotter, but looking pretty good so far. So that's good for the people that are still able to make it out, you know, a little bit later in the summer there.
Yeah, really for Oregon, July, August are just about equal as far as our average temperatures. Through July and August specifically, those are our two hottest months by far. You know, it's always going to be in the 80s for the most part. It's pretty rare. Like this last Thursday when it was only a 78-degree day, but that's actually one of the coolest we've had for summertime. So it's typically 80 to 90, but we'll get a week or two spell in there a couple times that it's 95, 92, 95 or hotter spikes, and that it makes it really hard to race when it gets above the 90. It's just, you know, it's not that much fun.
Yeah, you know, and especially, you know, you got that plus, you know, you add some humidity to that, and it's definitely not fun in full gear and stuff, but, you know, got to kind of work with what we're given, and you know, it's going to be interesting to see how the later date for the Pacific Northwest Shootout, you know, hits everything. But I know that regardless of what the turnout is going to be, who's going to be there, there's going to be some quick bikes. I hope to see some sick mini bike action. Maybe you can do a live feed for us on the mini bike going down the track.
Yeah, we'll try to do. It'll be
we'll do a little Dave Applegate action right there, and then you know, it's gonna be a good time. And then I know Doug has said that you guys are doing, like, there's gonna be a cornhole, volleyball tournament, some extra, like, you know, curricular fun activities and stuff this year for it. So are you getting into any of that cornhole action?
I might have to jump into that. And I think they're doing a kind of a barbecue dinner.
Yeah.
Help from Racers 2 on, I don't recall what night, probably Friday night, I imagine. But I had to look back at their post on that one. But something to keep an eye out for.
Yep. So lots of cool stuff going on at the Pacific Northwest Shootout. That is going to be August 1st through the 3rd in Albany Sand Drags. That's in Albany, Oregon, located at Albany Motorsports Park, 33648 Berry Drive, Northeast Albany. All right, we're back with Brad to go over rounds 5 and 6 here for the summer series, Albany Sand Drags. We're going to kick it off with the youth classes. Round 5, this was on July 20th. First place going to Memphis Powell. Second place going to Colt Cutler. And then third place going to Zoe Powell. Why don't you tell us the results there for round number 6, which is on Sunday, Brad?
Yeah, so on Sunday, it looks like Bryce Seaver took the win on that one. And then we had Colt Cutler took a second. And that bumped him up to 4th place overall. And 3rd place was Memphis Powell, which pushed him into the total points lead, or actually maintained his points lead. So he's got a pretty good gap on the competition right now with 141 total points. Zoe Powell,
like almost 50 points over there over Zoe.
Yeah, that's a pretty good gap. Looks like he's had a through the season here. First race he took a first. Second race he was second. A first, a second, a first, a third. That's
Maintaining that podium finish there throughout the whole season. That's hard to do.
Yeah, sure is. Sure is. That's a tough competitor right there.
Absolutely. And part of the Powell Racing group, so definitely cool. Big family affair there with Powell Racing. So
yeah, they definitely
then
have
we
a big
see
running and kids as well.
and then you were talking about Colt there in fourth place up in the points. Moving over to the Youth 2 class, Cash Coulter getting up there. He's the points leader right now, 142 points. First round, he actually takes third though there in or round number 5 on Saturday. Second place going to Douglas Wells, and then first place going to Tyler Bone for July 20th for round 5.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see Tyler Bone. He's a young guy riding pretty much a bone stock Banshee with some small paddles on it, but he's got a good handle of that thing too. His mom and dad are out there racing as well. Dad races, Justin does, and mom's there camping with them too. They were pretty excited about that. I know here later on one of the sport 2 classes, Justin had to race his dad. That was pretty fun. Yeah.
It's always fun to have a little father-son rivalry there. And
Yeah.
looks like Tyler took first place in the on Sunday as well. So man, he's been on a tear. Looks like he missed the first race though. So rounds 1 and 2, that's put him in a kind of a hurting position for the points. He's locked in number 2 there with 76 points. But Cash, man, he's got a commanding lead there, 142 points, taken second on the second day, and then Douglas Wells in third place on Sunday as well, rounding out into also the third position in the point series.
Yeah, and keep in mind our first 2 races of the year are double points, so you have the potential to pick up, a big jump on your competition through that.
Yep.
That first.
And you guys have the final 2 rounds coming up soon for the summer series as well. Those are regular points or double points?
I gotta check that. I was just wondering that myself.
So yeah, that's as you're saying the double points man there. I mean, that's really cool to get people kind of out there to the first race, kick it off strong, make sure everybody's really trying to show up. But man, when you don't even get a chance to make one of those days, it is really hard to make up those points. And we see in the Youth 2 class there, Cash Coulter or Cutler, excuse me, he got first place both days. Looked like he was the only competitor there for the Youth 2 class. So just walked away with it. And man, if you take away those 80 points, Tyler, man, he's right there. Even Douglas looks like Douglas only made the last 2 rounds here. They'd all be kind of right there fighting for it. But that early point lead the Cash got really helping him out.
Yeah, I sure did. I just looked up the schedule here, so they actually have 2 more race weekends, so 4 actual races that are Saturday a race, Sunday a race each weekend. So there's a little test and tune Friday, August 30th from 3 to 7 as well. That'll just be an open test tune, cars, bikes, everything. They'll run separate, but to absorb that time. Then Saturday the 31st is round 7. September 1st, of course, Sunday would be round 8. And then September 28th and 29th, the final number 9 race, number 10 race, but that is the double points one.
That is some points. So we do have some extra time. So hopefully some of these guys have missed out that first double points race will be able to make it for that final season closer. And we'll definitely see some big points shakeups here. Let's go over and take a look. Sport Bike 1. So this is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I know that 2 sport classes, the actual ET break for this is different than what you guys run for the Pacific Northwest Shootout. Is that correct?
Yes. The Albany, our regular race weekends that our track puts on, it's always been a 419 and faster, 420 and slower. The split between Pro 1, Pro 2, and Sport 1, Sport 2. Sycamore's a shootout. We use 399 and 4.
Yeah, and that's because you typically have a few more faster bikes in there. So just trying to keep that break point even for that. So Sport Bike 1 with that 419 and faster, we're looking at first place. Ooh, back down here. Okay, first place, round number 5 going to Eric Wells. Second place going to Douglas Wells. So cool little brotherly matchup there in the finals. And third place going to Corey Rodvik over there in round number 5. And what's cool, with running these two races, each days, you see some different winners there in round 6. So round 6 there we see Cooper Alexander taking first place. Second place going to Stephen Miller. Good to see him back there in the winner's circle. And third place going to Cameron Spittle. So completely different podium winners there for the second round number 6 in the total of the point series. Why don't you go give us a little points wrap up here for where we're at after round 6? Because I think you know somebody in there in the top part of the field.
Yeah, my boy Carter. He's in second place, right there. So he's 10 points behind Cooper now. I shouldn't have sold Cooper them tires. That's how he. But yeah, actually we had problems with the bike and didn't place, so just got our entry 5 points is all. So Cooper jumped across us there, but he was running super consistent, earned every bit of it. Cameron, of course, Steve, Corey, Eric, they're always contenders as well. Eric kind of got his mojo back a little bit, but had an issue with the bike, so he didn't run Sunday. We probably would have picked up another placing. Who else runs in there? Douglas Wells has been pretty consistent as well. We didn't see Lacey this last weekend, so she dropped down a bit. Brian Kane's competitor as well. He's been running his weight class bike in that one, getting passes on that, getting faster and faster too. And Bob Yutzi, he's always at the track running as well. He typically runs pretty good. And of course, run down through the list there.
They got quite a few racers there, 25 total, that have at least competed in one event for Sport Bike 1. Sport Bike 2, not quite as many competitors, but still some pretty stiff competition. Looks like we've got Callista Summerlin taking first place in round number 5 on the 20th. Second place going to Tyler Bone. So you're saying him getting up there on the podium for Sport Bike 2.
Yeah.
And Stephen Miller rounding out the podium with that third place finish.
Yep, that's a really competitive class too. Between the top 5 there, they're always battling it out. And like I said earlier, and I don't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday that Tyler raced his dad Justin and put him out. And I think that was Sunday. I think it was for the second or for third place, second place.
Yeah, why don't you go read for round 6 there on Sunday?
Yeah, so round 6, Callista, she took a first place and
double up, nice.
Yep. So she went 1-1 and gained some points on the overall points leader, Steven. That was pretty good moves there. Picked up 9, another 17 points or so. And then Tyler Bone took second place on Sunday there, and his dad, Justin Bone, took third. And Steven took fourth place. And we also had Pat Rogers, new guy coming out to the track.
Yeah, that's always cool to have some new people, new blood.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So point series looking Stephen Miller, like you said, taking over the first position there, 128 total points. Callista Summerlin not too far behind, 117. And then J.R. Elam, 90 points there in third place on the points. Still a lot to go, though, so that could be shaken up pretty quick.
Yeah, and JR actually wasn't at this last weekend there as well. So, if you go back in the points there, he was right in the mix with Callista as well. And so it only takes, we got 2 more full weekends, 4 races, the last one being those double points. So there's still plenty of racing to shake things out and make moves.
That's for sure. Moved over to the car side, we've got in round 5. Give me a sec. Michelle Hill. She's been on a roll, taking first place there. Sport Car 1. Second place going to Jason Mueller. And my man Tom Grote rounding out the podium there for round number 5. Third place. That's for first day, round 5, Saturday the 20th. Moving over to Sunday's eliminations. Jason now getting the top spot on that podium. So he's 1-2 there for the weekend. Second place going to Ryan Hill. So we got, the Hills battling back and forth there. And third place, yet again, Tom Grote. So always the bridesmaid, never the bride there for Tom, but he's pretty solid there in the points as well. Looks
Yeah,
like we still got Cam is leading the points there just by a little bit, but Tom's back there in 4th.
It's a really competitive class, and you can look at just like the points. There isn't a big spread. Cam's been super consistent in his dragster this year. They're got that thing dialed in pretty well. So he's leading the class right now with 85 points. And then you got Jason Meather and Cody Wright both at 74. And then there's the next like 10 or within 15 points over there. So that's one weekend that whole thing gets shook up.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then like you said, factor in that double points for the last 2 rounds. We're gonna definitely see this coming down to the wire there in Sport Car 1.
Yeah,
and tons of competitors there in Sport Car 1 too.
There are. Since the Sport Car 1 though, for instance, got Brenton Whitley that's sitting at 70 points. Say he goes out and wins the class, the next time he picks up 20 points, and if anyone above him doesn't place, they're only going to get 5. He's automatically going to jump them all the way to the top.
For sure. Yeah, so I mean, and like you said, this is Sand Drag. Stuff happens, and it can very quickly, you can have a pretty significant point shakeup. Even with just having one bad day, you go out there first round and you don't make it out of first round. Competitors go out there and they podium. Big shakeup.
Yep. I was watching Cooper do that to me on Sunday. I was like, I'm not rooting for you to lose, but
it happens.
Hey everyone, this week's podcast sponsored by Racing in the Dirt. Located in Cleveland, Wisconsin, Racing in the Dirt is ready to put their over 30 years worth of off-road experience to work for you. From turnkey builds to rolling chassis to an awesome selection of parts, the Racing in the Dirt staff has got you covered. Brake kits, aluminum hub kits, enclosed chain drives and kits, drive shaft loops, and even DIY wheelie bar kits, all available. So let Scott, Shane, and the crew at Racing in the Dirt get you the competitive edge you need. Give them a call at area code 920-693-2000. That's area code 920-693-2000. Or find them on Facebook or even racinginthedirt.com. That's racinginthedirt.com and the UPS Daily.
Hey folks, this is an ad read for Silverback Offroad and the rentals. Silver Lake's most convenient rental company. Rentals are available from April 1st to October 31st. At Silverback Offroad, you'll find experts that can help you find the latest products and performance upgrades to help you transform your Jeep, truck, or side-by-side into your ideal reflection. Their off-road rental shop is conveniently located in Mears, Michigan at 1920 North 24th Avenue, directly across the street from the 2,000-acre Silver Lake Sand Dunes, which is Michigan's #1 off-road destination. Also, Silverback Offroad Rentals, they offer ATV rentals, side-by-side rentals, Jeep rentals, RV rentals, and more. This is the only drivable sand dune east of the Mississippi River. For more information, you can visit their website at silverbackoffroad.com, or you can give them a call at 231-923-2455, extension 1. Again, that's 231-923-2455, extension 1. And once again, you can find them at their website, silverbackoffroad.com, and also find them on social media at Silverback Offroad. Silverback's RV rentals can be found at silverbackrvrental.com. You can also contact them at sales@silverbackrvrental.com. You can also call them for the RV rentals at 616-730-8787. Again, that's 616-730-8787. silverbackrvrental.com.
Let's go check out Sport Car 2 here. So once again, a lot of competitors here. In round number 5, we've got Clay Wallen. This was his only appearance for Sport Car 2, taking first place. He was only there for round number 5 on Saturday and podiumed. So that's pretty cool for him. Second place goes to Ed Miller. And then third place, Darla Neal, taking home the bottom spot there on the podium for Sport Car 2. Brad, why don't you go give us for Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday you had Darla Neal. She took third on Saturday, first on Sunday. Second place goes to Shane Wallen. He picks up 16 points there for his second place. Michelle Hill, our actual points leader, took third. And as a matter of fact, that's her second third of the year. Other than that, she's had 3 firsts and 1 she didn't place in. That's some solid work there. Fourth place on Sunday was Bobby Miller. He picked up 11 points there too. Looks like Michelle Hill's got a good lead on the group right now. She's at 124. I got Darla Neal at 83. Bobby Miller right on her Darla's tail at 82. And Ed Miller at 74. Steve Payetti at 54. And then there's quite a few down past that. There's 21 entries of people who have raced at least one weekend.
Yeah, and that definitely looks like there's been quite a few that have missed some of the rounds. So, not quite as many points on there. But even Michelle's lead of 40 points, I mean, as we saw, like double points for the last 2 rounds. If you win, that's 40 points. So you can very easily make that up, even at that much of a lead right now, coming into the tail end of the season.
Right. And you get to the double points weekend, if you take a first on there and pick up 40 points, and anyone above you that's not more than 40 points, or excuse me, 35, they're only going to get their standard 5. You can gain 30, 60 points on the list pretty quickly in a weekend.
That's for sure. Speaking of gaining points, you were talking about Cooper. Let's move over to Pro Bike 1. So moving over to the pro side of the tree. First place on Saturday for round number 5 going to Michael Farmer. Second place going to Eric Wells. Third place going to Courtney Summerlin. And then even though it looks like Cooper didn't place, he still got the points lead after round number 6. No points to earn there, so he didn't place. But we've got Michael Farmer taking first place in round number 6 on Sunday. Second place going to Aaron Yutzi. And then Jackie Clayson getting third there on the Raptor.
Yeah, this is
so
a tough.
You guys at here? You guys are 6th place right now in the points?
Yeah, Carter is. Yep. This is actually pretty interesting top 5 or so. Cooper's came out the first race of the year in the double points and took a first and a second. So right off the bat, he had 72 points. He's currently got 92. So he's been on cruise control race for the last 3 weekends, but still has the points lead. And you got Michael Farmer. He took just a placing. He's got 10. You get 10 points on the double points weekend when you don't get in that top 4. But he took a first on the Sunday, so he picked up 40 points there. Missed the middle 2 races and came back this last weekend and ran our last 2 races. And he's in second place with 90. So right behind Cooper.
Right there, yeah. And that's, doubling up this weekend definitely helped him for that.
Yeah, absolutely did. Steve Seaver in third. He is super consistent. He's always competition for no matter who he lines up with. He's tough to beat. And Eric, of course, does what he does. He's hanging right in there too, and even having his issue with his bike, he didn't run Sunday. So there's one race that he didn't even get
Yeah.
any point. And Douglas Wells real consistent out there. My son Carter in sixth. Then you got Lacey, Aaron, Jackie, Corey, Cameron, Bob, Jake, Courtney. Down the list you go. But that whole top, about 14 is 90 points to 40. It's still within reach really for
Oh,
anybody.
definitely. Definitely within striking distance. Why don't you go kick us off here for Pro Bike 2?
Yeah, Pro Bike 2 on Saturday. Stephen Miller took the win on that. And then the new guy at the track, Pat Rogers, took a second, which was fantastic. It's good to see. And Calista Summerlin took third on Saturday, and Michael Farmer took fourth on there. Also had Cameron Spittle was in there running that class for the first time this year as well. On Sunday, Calista took first, and presumably that looks like that gave her the lead over the overall points over Steven, just by 5 points there. So that gap, not quite, but with her placing Saturday coupled with Sunday, got her that 5 point lead. So Calista beat Steven in the finals, first, second on Sunday, and then also Pat Rogers in her third. So 1 through 4 is Calista Summerlin, Stephen Miller, Junior Elam, and Pat Rogers sitting at 5. I got Pat Rogers at 4. Justin Bone is at 5. And Carson Cordell is out there. Tyler Van Sickle, Michael Farmer, and Cameron Spittle as well have run that class.
Yeah, and I mean, shout out to Pat Rogers there. I mean, first time out, placing number 2 and number 3 there for the weekend. That's getting it done there.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a great time. I think he's riding a scrambler, if I remember right.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, they're having a blast. He did
Yeah,
really
and I mean, there's no bottom end to the index, right? So as long as you're good to go.
Yeah, bracket racing is consistency. You don't need like to run bracket racing, not at all. Matter of fact, it's probably beneficial to not be on track.
It might be sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you got a consistent track, you go out there, you got something like a scrambler, a trailblazer, one of these old farm quads. I remember there was a guy out there, he had a stock 250R out here in California that used to win all the time. And or no, it wasn't even a 250R, it was a 300.
Yeah.
And man, like it's crazy sometimes, but like you said, that's bracket racing.
Yeah, so a couple of our buddies we camp with at times over at Dune Fest all have 3-wheelers, 200 ES kind of farms. Usually have a rack on the front or the back, or they always bracket doing. A lot of times they take that trophy. It's hilarious.
Well, let's move over to the car side. We're going to start out Pro 1 car. These are the faster ones again on that Pro Tree bracket racing. Looking at round number 5 on Saturday, the win going to Jason Mueller. Second place going to go to Carson Mays. And then rounding out our podium there for number 3 is Clay Wallen. Moving over to round number 6.
A big class.
Yeah, a 32 on record here of competing in at least one round. So that's pretty cool. Round number 6, we saw Cam McAllister go out there, take first place. That's with is he in the dragster or the Jeep with that for Pro 1?
I think he was running the dragster. They did run the Jeep this last weekend, but I think they were just making some test hits on it.
Gotcha. Number 2 going to my man Chris Wells. And then number 3, Jason Mueller again. So Jason got the points lead there, picked up some points over his competitors. He's in a pretty solid lead, 15 points over Scotty Burris in the number 2 spot. And then, man, looks like we got a bunch of people kind of grouped up there. You got Chris Wells, Carson Mays, Cam McAllister, Adam Hill, Tom Grote, all there through number 7. Looking like they're still within striking distance. Again, many more races left out there. just looking to capitalize on another competitor's mistake, coupled with that final 2 rounds with the double points.
Yep, lots of time to shake that one up as well. And that's a deep class. I mean, you look back on the looks like June 29th and 30th race. They had about 25 entries in the class, give or take there, both days. I think that's a huge class.
Yeah. Definitely. And the more cars you add to that, that's more opportunities to have a little misstep there and get, some serious points implications. So we'll see how things shake out here going through the rest of the summer. And, like you said, 2 more full weekends, 4 rounds total, with those 2 final rounds being double points. It's plenty of room to shake it up. Looking now, Pro Car 2, first place on Saturday, the 20th, going to Darlin Neal. Second place, I'm going to have to go over here to the next page. No?
Garrett Wallen took second.
Garrett Wallen. And then third place going to Ed Miller. And then make it a little bit easier for me here. Michelle Hill getting first place in on the round number 6 on Sunday. Second place going to Darlin Neal. And then third place going to Shane Wallen. So lots of family racing. I love seeing that. It's really cool to see that in Oregon. Just a lot of great families. Have a lot of people racing too.
Yeah, there really is. The car classes they're really solid. I wish our bike counts would get up to that, 20 bikes in class, 25 bikes in class.
Hey, you guys have been growing though. Like that's one thing that I've been really stoked to see is it seems like the last couple of years the bracket stuff has been coming back a little bit in Oregon. It was kind of dying there for a little bit, Sport always goes through these ebbs and flows, but
yeah,
it's on its way back.
Bracket class used to be real big out there. When I first got into it in the middle of 2000s, and to do like 2010 or so, the classes were pretty big, and the shift kind of went to more fast stuff, running tracks, trying to set ET stuff like that. So our regular weekend bike counts dwindled down some of that. From a bike guy's perspective, you're trying to run ETs, it's hard to do that, get a consistent track when the cars are there too, just because of how to prep the track. So it's a little bit tougher. I've always ran it. I always figure if I can run on a bad track or rough track or not ideal is how I see it, then I can apply those same things to a good track. So, and plus the wind's blowing out of the north like it is today, I can usually hear cars running out there if for some reason I break a leg and I'm home, which I hope never happens. So I'm so close. So it's kind of like a cheat code for me, but yeah, classes have grown, and it's been interesting to see our Sport 2 Pro 2 class used to be the big class as far as bike entries, and then the Sport 1 Pro 1 was the smaller class. That's completely changed now. Our Pro 1 Sport 1 class is the larger bike class. We are getting decent turnouts in those. We're getting 12 to 14, 16 bikes, and then I think the sport classes are seeing 6 to 8 on any given weekend. Just depends on who shows up, of course.
Yeah. But still solid numbers, and it is interesting to see that shift there. And I think part of it's just a lot of bikes being built nowadays that they're at that point where that break between the ETs is skewed more to the faster bikes. I mean, we've seen that with a lot of classes where even California, Arizona, same thing has happened. It's been I don't know how much of it is necessarily an East Coast thing because they typically run their brackets and stuff different, but it seems like on the West Coast, the quicker brackets have definitely picked up numbers and the slower brackets have dwindled down a little bit, which, let's go see some more people there on the scramblers and, the slower bikes and stuff take over in the slow bracket. I mean, like you said, that consistency is key there.
Yeah, it really is. It's a great way to get into the sport too. Like I said, you don't have to have a drag bike for bracket racing, and you can come out on any bike, bring your Honda Sportsman 2x4, and ride down lanes with the cooler on the back. Still,
oh absolutely.
You have just as much fun as the guy on the drag bike does. But that's how we get people into the sport as well. Just get them introduced to it. I don't have a ton of friends. My circle's pretty small. The ones I do call friends are all into riding and racing. or construction, one of those two. But you talk to people even in my office where I work there, 9 to 5, and they don't know what ATV drag racing is or even exists typically.
Yeah.
Until you bring it conversation and you bring it up for some reason. Most people don't even know the sport exists. That's the goal, is get people knowing.
Absolutely. And then get them out there with those stock bikes. And the same thing for the Pro and Sport 2 cars. I mean, there's no bottom end to the ET there. You can bring your stock pickup if you want. And, it doesn't take a full built race car or bike to get into the sport of sand drags. And that's one of the coolest things about it, is that you can really get into it inexpensively. And yeah, if you want to go and spend money and go faster and quicker and stuff, if you want to chase records, get those ETs, sky's the limit on it, right? You can spend as much money as you want, but to get into it, it's very easy to do. It's a great time. As we were talking about here, tons of families and stuff that go out there, and racers helping each other out when there's parts that are missing, breakage, stuff like that. And Oregon seems like it's really catering to that.
It really is. Everybody that's out at the track is gonna lend you a hand or a part if they have it. There's tons of help. It's a great group of people, and it's cool that the car guys and bike guys we all get along really well. It didn't really used to be that way, and I don't know if I wouldn't say that we didn't get along, but we just didn't really socialize with them. It was almost like two separate groups. Not so much like that anymore, which is awesome. We know I'm not good friends with a lot of the car guys per se, but I know them all by face and by name from the track, and everybody's super friendly, and anybody'd feed you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Well, we got again, like you said, there is going to be a test and tune August 30th, and then round number 7 and 8, we're going to see that August 31st and September 1st. Those are going to be your next events outside of the Pacific Northwest Shootout, where we're going to be back into the Albany Sand Drags Summit Summer Racing Series, and we'll see. Hopefully, we'll hear more from you, Brad, as those rounds continue. See Carter hopefully bump up in some of those points as we kind of get towards the tail end of the season there for Albany Sand Drags.
Appreciate it. We'll be in touch.
Awesome. Thank you, Brad.
Hey everyone, this week's podcast sponsored by Racing in the Dirt. Located in Cleveland, Wisconsin, Racing in the Dirt is ready to put their over 30 years worth of off-road experience to work for you. From turnkey builds to rolling chassis to an awesome selection of parts, the Racing in the Dirt staff has got you covered. Brake kits, aluminum hub kits, enclosed chain drives and kits, drive shaft loops, and even DIY wheelie bar kits, all available. So let Scott, Shane, and the crew at Racing in the Dirt get you the competitive edge you need. Give them a call at area code 920-693-2000. That's area code 920-693-2000. Or find them on Facebook or even racinginthedirt.com. That's racinginthedirt.com and the UPS Daily.
Hey folks, this is an ad read for Silverback Offroad and the rentals. Silver Lake's most convenient rental company. Rentals are available from April 1st to October 31st. At Silverback Offroad, you'll find experts that can help you find the latest products and performance upgrades to help you transform your Jeep, truck, or side-by-side into your ideal reflection. Their off-road rental shop is conveniently located in Mears, Michigan at 1920 North 24th Avenue, directly across the street from the 2,000-acre Silver Lake Sand Dunes, which is Michigan's #1 off-road destination. Also, Silverback Offroad Rentals, they offer ATV rentals, side-by-side rentals, Jeep rentals, RV rentals, and more. This is the only drivable sand dune east of the Mississippi River. For more information, you can visit their website at silverbackoffroad.com, or you can give them a call at 231-923-2455, extension 1. Again, that's 231-923-2455, extension 1. And once again, you can find them at their website, silverbackoffroad.com, and also find them on social media at Silverback Offroad. Silverback's RV rentals can be found at silverbackrvrental.com. You can also contact them at sales@silverbackrvrental.com. You can also call them for the RV rentals at 616-730-8787. Again, that's 616-730-8787. silverbackrvrental.com.